she sort of like pretends to play with her. So like in the beginning, our oldest is like loving on her, and she's like very maternal, and then our middle daughter is just like keeps away from her. It's like a wedding, like something old, something borrowed, something blue, something new.
Wait, which
except
one?
it's just,
Now I want to think of the scene.
Oh, I'm wearing her stuff all over it.
Justin didn't harass Blake. Blake was interested in wresting control of this movie away from Justin, who was the director and the producer. She was just an actress.
Blake Lively might face jail time. Not probation, not a fine, actual jail. Accusations surfaced that she or her team doctored evidence in her countersuit against director Justin Baldoni, a bombshell twist in the It Ends With Us movie meltdown. This isn't just Hollywood drama, it's a potential criminal charge for perjury or obstruction, a scandal that could land one of Tinseltown's biggest stars behind bars. Experts whisper probation or a hefty fine, but tabloids scream prison, igniting a firestorm of speculation across social media. The quiet whispers have turned into a roaring inferno, exposing a layer of high-stakes legal peril nobody saw coming, completely reshaping the narrative of this already chaotic production. The Screen Queen might soon be battling for her freedom, a shocking turn that eclipses even the movie's disastrous reviews.
Into oblivion, Megyn. Wait till you see this lawsuit.
Oh boy.
I mean, honestly, the way that I get into a character is through their style. So it was more about who Lily is that was so fascinating.
This astonishing legal threat stems directly from the catastrophic production of It Ends With Us, a film adaptation that promised emotional depth but delivered utter chaos instead. What began as a highly anticipated book-to-screen project quickly devolved into a nightmare scenario, becoming a spectacle of behind-the-scenes feuds and public accusations that now threaten to pull Hollywood's biggest names into court. The movie, once touted as a tearjerker for the ages, transformed into a real-life courtroom drama, far more gripping than anything on screen. The initial excitement for this project has completely evaporated, replaced by a morbid fascination with the escalating scandal.
Ryan Reynolds comes off terribly. He had them over to their penthouse in New York, and Taylor Swift was believed to be there, according to this latest complaint. Whole thing. I mean, who the hell is he? I guess he's in some small thing I never saw, but she's saying, F with me, and we'll crush you. My drag.
The film's reception was as cold as an iced latte on a frosty morning. We're talking scathing reviews, a box office disaster that left studios scrambling, and enough behind-the-scenes chaos to fuel gossip columns for decades. From the moment it hit theaters, it was clear It Ends With Us was a flop of epic proportions, a commercial and critical failure that shocked everyone involved. The poor performance wasn't just a slight disappointment, it was a resounding rejection from both critics and audiences, setting the stage for the dramatic legal fallout that would soon consume the headlines. This wasn't just a bad movie, it was a cultural train wreck. At the heart of this unfolding debacle stands a bitter feud between the film's director, Justin Baldoni, and its star, Blake Lively. Their creative differences quickly spiraled into a personal vendetta, culminating in a series of lawsuits and countersuits that have laid bare the ugly side of Hollywood. What started as artistic disagreements became a full-blown war, with both parties determined to prove the other was to blame for the film's colossal failure. Their clash turned the movie production into a battleground, escalating from whispers on set to shouting matches in the press, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. A major point of contention was Blake Lively's insistence on injecting comedic tweaks into a story renowned for its raw, gut-wrenching emotional intensity. It Ends With Us is no light-hearted rom-com. It delves into themes of heartbreak and resilience, the complete opposite of comedic fluff. Yet rumors emerged that Lively, possibly with a little nudge from her famously funny husband Ryan Reynolds, pushed for lighter moments, attempting to reshape the film's somber tone. This creative gamble immediately set the stage for conflict, fundamentally altering the adaptation's intended direction and sparking outrage among fans. Meanwhile, Justin Baldoni remained steadfast in his vision, aiming for a faithful adaptation that captured the book's tear-jerking intensity. He envisioned gut-wrenching performances that would leave audiences ugly crying, preserving the novel's emotional integrity above all else. Baldoni was all about pure, unfiltered emotion, an approach directly at odds with Lively's push for mainstream sass and comedic relief. His commitment to the source material's raw honesty clashed dramatically with Lively's desire to broaden the film's appeal, creating an immediate and irreconcilable divide that poisoned the set atmosphere. Early set photos leaked online, further fueling the controversy and cementing public perception of the creative clash. Instead of the battered sweatshirts and raw, gritty vibes expected from a serious drama, Blake was pictured in high-fashion outfits that screamed Sex and the City rather than emotional turmoil. The internet immediately reacted with outrage, questioning how such glamorous styling could convey the deep heartbreak of the narrative. These visual contradictions ignited a firestorm, instantly eroding fan trust and signaling a significant departure from the beloved book's aesthetic, confirming fears of a misguided adaptation. The outrage escalated as rumors emerged that comedic lines were being inserted into pivotal, emotionally charged scenes. Fans of the novel who had anticipated soul-crushing tears were aghast at the thought of jokes diluting the story's core impact. This wasn't just a minor tweak, it was a fundamental shift that threatened to undermine the very essence of the book. The public backlash was swift and fierce, with social media ablaze with protests against what many saw as a betrayal of the source material. The push for humor and sacred dramatic moments became a lightning rod for criticism. The creative differences soon exploded into full-blown legal action. Just before the movie's release, Justin Baldoni filed a bombshell defamation lawsuit against Blake Lively. He claimed she spread rumors that he was a tyrant on set, accusations he alleged ruined the film's chances of success even before it hit theaters. Baldoni took the hit personally, asserting that these public smears damaged his professional reputation and jeopardized the movie's fate. His legal challenge wasn't just about vindication, it was a desperate attempt to protect his brand and hold Lively accountable for what he considered career-ending slander. In a shocking countermove, Blake Lively clapped back with her own lawsuit, accusing Justin Baldoni of bullying her on set. She claimed he prevented her from unleashing her comedic brilliance and deliberately put the brakes on her performance, hindering her artistic expression. This accusation painted Baldoni as a controlling figure who stifled her creative input, turning the legal battle into a full-blown defamation versus bullying showdown. Her countersuit completely overshadowed any discussion about the film itself, guaranteeing that the off-screen drama would be far more captivating than the plot. The relentless legal drama utterly consumed the narrative surrounding It Ends With Us, completely overshadowing the film's release. Who cared about the plot when there was a high-stakes courtroom battle unfolding between its star and director? The movie became a mere backdrop for the real spectacle, two major Hollywood figures trading legal blows. This unprecedented level of public legal conflict transformed what should have been a promotional cycle into an endless stream of scandalous headlines, ensuring the film would be remembered not for its story, but for the acrimonious feud that birthed it. When the movie finally hit theaters, critics were merciless. They tore it apart for its jarring emotional whiplash, noting how gut-wrenching heartbreak scenes were inexplicably interspersed with awkward random comedy bits that left audiences utterly confused. One critic famously quipped, "If you want a drama with a side of awkward jokes, this is your movie." The reviews were brutal, highlighting the chaotic clash of creative visions that permeated every frame. This critical consensus only confirmed the fans' worst fears, solidifying the film's reputation as a muddled, incoherent mess. As for the box office, it was an undeniable disaster. The film's earnings were so underwhelming that the studio probably should have handed out free therapy sessions with each ticket, instead of relying on ticket sales to recoup costs. The financial failure was stark, a clear indicator that audiences were either turned off by the relentless drama or simply uninterested in the final product. This commercial flop provided further ammunition for both Baldoni and Lively, with each camp interpreting the dismal numbers as confirmation of their opposing views on the film's creative direction and ultimate downfall. The negative buzz from critics and the box office failure only served to further intensify the already boiling feud between Baldoni and Lively. Each side seized on the flop as undeniable proof of their stance. Team Baldoni declared, "See, the comedy ruined it," while Team Lively retorted, "No, it was the bad vibes and his bullying that sunk us." The public back and forth escalated, transforming every new piece of information into fresh fuel for their bitter war. This cycle of blame and counterblame became an endless loop, deepening the divide and assuring no easy resolution was in sight. In the midst of the escalating chaos, a desperate attempt was made to contain the public fallout. Rumors surfaced that someone close to Blake Lively supposedly asked the court for a gag order, hoping to lock down the drama and handle it in private. However, the judge wasn't having it, shooting down the request with a resounding no. This judicial decision meant the floodgates were wide open for even more trash talk, leaked texts, and daily juicy soundbites to flood the tabloids. The court, in essence, gave them permission to keep dragging each other through the mud, guaranteeing a public spectacle. Capitalizing on the court's decision, Justin Baldoni went all in, launching an entire website dedicated to the chaos. This digital courtroom became his platform for airing all the dirty laundry, featuring alleged text messages, behind-the-scenes notes, and emails designed to make your skin crawl. One screenshot purportedly showed Blake pushing for comedic lines in a scene meant to be an emotional gut punch, while another suggested she backpedaled after early leaks sparked fan outrage. Baldoni's camp insisted it was about exposing the truth and Lively's alleged manipulations, turning the public into Hollywood detectives. Just when the public thought things couldn't get any crazier, the New York Times dropped a heavily biased piece, seemingly siding with Blake Lively's narrative. The article reportedly portrayed Baldoni as a controlling monster while painting Lively as the poor, misunderstood actress stifled by his creative tyranny. Baldoni's supporters were livid, accusing the Times of a biased hit job, carefully picking what parts of the story to use. His legal team even hinted the piece was influenced by Blake's camp, though the Times has not confirmed this. This article reignited outrage, swaying public opinion against Baldoni. This leads us back to the most scandalous rumor of all, Blake Lively potentially facing jail time. We're talking about possible charges of perjury or obstruction if it's proven that she or her team doctored evidence presented in her countersuit. If true, and that's a monumental if, she could be staring down the very real possibility of prison. While experts suggest probation or a fine is more probable, the tabloids are already printing headlines proclaiming her years-long incarceration. Baldoni's camp maintains a chilling radio silence on the criminal charges, neither confirming nor denying, which only amplifies the speculation. And of course, no Hollywood drama is truly complete without Ryan Reynolds popping up in the whispers. Rumors are rampant that Blake allegedly turned to her comedy king hubby for suggestions, possibly leading to those infamous comedic lines being inserted into the script. However, once fans went into meltdown mode over the leaked humor, any sign of Reynolds' influence vanished faster than you can say Hitchcock. The lingering question now is whether Ryan could eventually be drawn into court, forced to explain his role in adding comedic beats to a story meant for tears. For now, he's reportedly just lounging with a gin. The real victims in this entire sordid saga are undoubtedly the book's diehard fans. They came for heartbreak, gut-wrenching emotion, and tear-jerking performances, eagerly anticipating a faithful adaptation. Instead, they were served a confusing mix of awkward jokes, a box office flop, and an endless loop of lawsuits that completely overshadowed the original story. Fans are devastated that It Ends With Us might now be forever tarnished by the scandal, its legacy forever tied to off-camera chaos rather than on-screen emotional resonance. The cruel irony is the story's poignant message is lost in the noise. We are now caught in a relentless whirlwind of failed comedic moments, non-stop legal drama, and pervasive negativity that could easily fuel an entire season of high-stakes reality television. The more these two celebrities keep swinging punches, the more audiences become hopelessly hooked on what happens next. The feud drags on, with each new update becoming more sensational than the last, as both sides remain obsessively determined to prove the other is the villain. The movie's failure is a foregone conclusion, but the legal battles spiral, and yes, the ominous shadow of potential criminal charges still looms large over Blake Lively. This entire situation serves as a stark, dramatic lesson, mixing massive egos. A beloved novel with a serious message and ill-advised comedic rewrites is an absolute recipe for disaster. What was supposed to be an emotional, gut-wrenching adaptation has instead morphed into a full-blown circus, complete with legal battles, leaked texts, calculated PR stunts, and dramatic headlines that far overshadow anything actually shown on screen. Hollywood adores a comeback story, but It Ends With Us is shaping up to be remembered solely for its off-camera chaos rather than any tear-jerking moments. A cruel irony indeed. With the New York Times allegedly siding with Blake Lively and Baldoni unleashing his website exposing every scrap of drama, the public is left picking sides like spectators at a gladiator match. Everyone is analyzing every text, email, and screenshot as if they were pieces of crucial evidence in a high-stakes trial. Could Blake really be facing jail time if the doctored evidence rumors are proven true? Will Ryan Reynolds eventually be dragged into this legal maelstrom? And is there any hope at all to salvage the wreckage of this beloved novel's legacy after all this chaos? Stay tuned because this Hollywood train wreck isn't slowing down anytime soon.